Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
Cube Monk, featuring the world's first smart cube. Track your goods with our advanced GPS system. Welcome to the future of moving and relocation at cubemonk.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by heirs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at heirs.com.
Insured Nomads provides protection and peace of mind with health insurance, travel insurance, group, or tailored insurance for the globally mobile. Visit us at insurednomads.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
Hi, this is Ed Cohen, your broadcast host of Global TV Talk Show. This is a business unit of globalbusinessnews.net. Go check it out. It's been around since '03, and according to Google Analytics, if we can believe all that, they say a little over 1.2 million reader page views since '03 from over 100 countries. More likely and more realistically, January 1 through April 5, Google Analytics has recorded 20,207 reader page views, and a lot has to do with our Global TV Talk Show. So, Shradha, thank you very much for being our guest today, our special guest on Global TV Talk Show, coming to us live from New Delhi, India.
That's right. Thanks, Edwin. Ed, great to be on your show. And those were some very impressive statistics, huh? I mean, I didn't know this was such a big thing. So more than happy to be on it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for PR. Global PR is what I call it. Okay, so now the question goes to, who cares? Why should they bother to watch this thing? There's so much going on, you know. There's so much with people being in front of the screen more and more. What is their attractive? Why are they doing this? So we'll get into that. But first, I want to know about you and about Resettle. Now, Resettle is your brainchild, and you're living it. I was reading your stuff. You're living it, and you set it up and you run it because of who you are as a millennial, and with that approach, that mental approach to understanding things from a fresh look and trying to implement change that's more realistic, timely, and customer effective. Is that correct?
I mean, you couldn't have put it better than that. So yeah, absolutely. So my background is, well, not in the industry, though I'm associated with it because I belong to a family which is in logistics. They're in household goods moving and art logistics. My husband is the third generation mover and packer, Mithal International, and they're very good at what they do. So as a result of that, of course, I've had exposure to the industry, but my background is more in financial services, and I've done my master's in strategy and marketing. But I think what I find interesting, and I think when I went for my first conference, I have to say that every person I met who had started this or founded a relocation company said that, they'd been through a relocation, so they understood what it meant, and hence they'd done it. And I remember thinking, I haven't really done that. I just do this because I really love what I do. And so I remember coming back and discussing this with the team, and they said, you have your outlook, you have the way you do things. You started the business when you didn't know the jargon. I didn't know what DSP stood for, destination services. I learned that in my first conference. And we were just talking about relocating a family, making them comfortable in India, helping them understand this new, chaotic, crazy country, and just being able to navigate your way through. And we do, and having worked in corporate in India for over 12 years, I understand that India is a very different animal. The amount you can learn here on an India assignment is fantastic. We're a very diverse and unique country. So I understand that for that assignee, this is probably a fabulous experience, once in a lifetime sort of opportunity. So if we can help that person and that family settle in and get a good relocation experience so they can focus on what they're here for, why not? So that's why we began what we did. The plus point is we meet the most wonderful people that don't remain clients. They become, well, friends and family, I have to admit. And yeah, it's been a fabulous journey so far.
Well, thank you for that deep dive, real quick. And so, what I want to learn about is why you picked the name Resettle. Now, to me, I'm in Southern California, so Resettle, and there's a lot of relocatees here, including me. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, which is as far away as you can get before going to Maui. So it's I understand the idea to resettle and relocate and settle in. Is that the exact same idea that resettle means?
Well, if you look at our logo, it's like a puzzle. It's like the pieces of your life coming together in a new place. And that's what we wanted to do. And it's not just about this being, it is a stopgap arrangement. We understand you're here for that 1, 2, 3, well, maybe longer assignment. We know many assignees who do extend because they love it here so much. But the idea was that we want you to settle in here like it's your country. I love where I stay. I love India. Like I'm not one of those millennials that wants to leave and go settle elsewhere. I like what I love my country. I think there's a lot that it has to offer. It's culturally so rich, and I think all you need to do is to be able to understand it. So if we can give you that initial month or 2 months of hand holding and the right kind of exposure, then yeah, we've resettled you correctly. So we have a hashtag that says happily resettled.
That's
So,
nice. So
yeah, thank you.
tell me about technology. I mean, you're youthful, and I'm sure you apply tech everywhere you can because, well, it's easier. Number one, once you learn how to do it, and number two, the customers expect it, right? Because those are the people generally that you're moving is people like yourselves.
Good question. The thing is that, I mean, or the second part of the question, really, I'm not sure that everyone wants that technology. So we deal with two kinds of people. And I feel like the pandemic forced technology down everyone's throat. And it took a few people a little bit of time to get used to it as well. So of course, yes, we do have technology internally as well as outward facing. We signed up with Relocation Online for the assignee experience, and we found them fantastic. I have to admit, Ronald does a great job with the portal. And what we've seen is the older assignee does prefer that bricks and mortar experience. They want to hear from you what is good in the city, what is not. Whereas that 25 to 35 age group assignee that's coming in is here for that. I want information at my fingertips when I want it, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning or if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's, I think you try and cater to both. You we pick technology that suits us internally, whether it's our internal MIS or whether it's how we do reporting back to our clients. We've had people that have joined us from other relocation companies, and they come with their little bit of experience and exposure. And of course, we learn from how other people do it too. But what I wanted to do was break it down, make it simpler, be a little bit more paperless. I mean, we have to be conscious of the environment. Sustainability is not just a word. You have to embody that in what you do. And going virtual last year with a lot of our services, I think it taught us so much. I think bundled services has a whole new meaning suddenly, and how much you can give exposure to someone by a virtual tour or a home finding, or even just how it was easy for us to employ more coaches and master trainers to be able to do our cultural training, because a lot of it became online suddenly, which meant we also had access to more people, which was fantastic. So I guess it's technology has played a very big role, especially in the last year. And being a borderline millennial, I learned a lot about technology as well, which was good for me.
Yeah. Okay, so we just have a few minutes here, but I wanted to make sure we're covering the right things for you. So how has pandemic impacting your business?
Well, we're a small and nimble company, or rather, let me say we're a young company. I don't want to use the word small. I'm going to say young here. We're about 4 odd years old, and exposure, of course, thanks to the moving side of the business, is a lot, and I value that immensely. It's a family business that my husband runs, but. That being said, I think because the pandemic just gave us time, and at some level it sort of made an even playing field for everybody. Suddenly everyone was available to chat with us online. You didn't get that half an hour slot in a conference, just come and say, hey, I'm another person here from India and this is what I do. You actually got time to connect with people and chat with them and say, hey, where are you from? What do you do? Why do you do what you do? This is why I picked it, and these are the kind of people I help, and this is how we customize our experiences. And every relocation company, or at least the good ones or the better ones, all have a good base foundation. We all have our processes, our systems, our policies in place. What matters is the experience that you give once you are dealing with that assignee, right? I mean, it's about being customized but standardized at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's
It
at least what
does,
we try
yeah.
and do.
Paul, producer Paul, do you have those links capable for viewing? Here is a look at your website, I think. And why don't you describe what we're looking at?
Oh, we're looking at people happy to be at the workplace because Resettle has taken care of everything else back home.
Now, there's the Taj Mahal. And
Yeah, I
so
mean,
is
yeah.
where is that located?
That's in Agra. That's about a 3.5 hour drive from Delhi. And well, most people have that in their bucket list when they think of India, and I highly recommend you do visit that if you haven't. It's worth it. It's all that it's made of. And I mean, if you scroll down lower, what we do is we've kept a very simple and clean website. What we want is for you just to reach out to us, call us, send us a WhatsApp text, send us an email, read our testimonials. I mean, I feel like nothing speaks more than what a client says. And, and at the end of the day, what we do more than anything else is, I guess, managing relationships and I guess managing any kind of foreseeable conflict that can happen. So I think that's more of the business we're in than anything else.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Paul.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
My background, as you might have guessed, is in public relations and advertising since I was about 15, which is a long time ago. But the applications of those skills are and have been applied to the relocation industry for a very long time. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, where, amongst other things, I was involved in an economic development vehicle, a publication called Settling in Greater Boston. And that was a very long time ago. And it was supported by the Chamber of Commerce, but also, and much better, by corporations and colleges in the Greater Boston area who advised me on the kinds of information that they needed to have in the recruitment guide. And the Chamber of Commerce advised me about what kind of information would help them recruit industry to relocate factories, particularly tech, into the tech areas of Greater Boston. And so I did it. And we were supported heavily by advertising of companies in real estate and apartment living and banks and movers. And well, that's enough. But we did quite well right away. And I sold that business after a couple of years to locals, and they're still running it, but I have no interest in it. I took the concept and went to LA, which is 3,000 miles away, much bigger market, much bigger need. And we had a lot of support and grew that business very successfully. Our first live conference, training conference, was at the LA Chamber of Commerce in 1984. And we formed what is not around anymore, but we formed the California Relocation Council. And that has morphed into the local ERC group. We had over 200 people attend, including relocation managers from Apple Computer and Chevron Oil and Paramount Pictures and aircraft manufacturers. Quite a diversity. And we had tables set up from mainly realtors, relocation directors, who represented where people would be living. So I know you had a brief inquiry about our background and how it all fits.
That answers my question. I mean, yeah, I know. I wanted to know what your connection with the workforce mobility space is and what got you into this. And yeah, that thank you for that answer. But you mentioned some fantastic contacts. You want to introduce me to these guys in India or elsewhere?
I'll try. Yes, let's go forward together. So,
yeah, sure.
Unfortunately, we have at this time only about 5 minutes left, but I would like to invite you to come back and do an update and go a little deeper in May or in June. There's your LinkedIn page. And yeah, very colorful and very diverse.
Young and happy and, well, one other thing is, since we're this kind of organization we're fairly nimble, we adapt and pivot depending on the market need as soon as we can. Well, that's me, yes, and we can maybe click on Resettle too. Oh yeah, this was a great event. This is, I have a pet peeve with why we need a Women's Day, and I'm a strong advocate of equality and maybe women's right at some level. So yeah, this was a great event, which was organized by 2 chambers of commerce. And what was interesting was to see that how so many interesting women came together just to talk about how we got here, I guess thanking the people that helped us get here. And, there's still a long road ahead. So much to do for equality, whether it's, pay at work, whether it's equal responsibility in the home. And I think COVID-19 has really put that at the forefront. But yeah, it was interesting.
Well, this has been a real delight. So, are companies beginning to relocate again into India? And are companies in India sending their people out right now, or is that on hold?
Well, it's begun. It began last September, to be honest with you. And the diplomats have anyway been moving across borders. That's never been too much of a stoppage. But for employment visas, etc., the work began last September. It opened up for their spouses, which is their dependents, more towards the end of the year, November. That being said, of course, companies have cut back. Companies have taken, have decided to relook at a lot of their policies, budget cuts, etc. But at the end of the day, India is still a very lucrative market. There is so much investment which is anyway flowing into the country given the nature of where we are. And as a result, we do need a talent pool to support that growth as well. So hence, I don't see relocation slowing down over a period of time. Right now, obviously it has. I mean, I'm sure anyone will tell you that. And as you know, we're also a bit in our second wave of COVID at the moment. And I hope we've reached that spike and we're about to sort of, tip to the other side. But I think this year is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see whether it's, we work a lot in Hyderabad city. We've seen a lot of relocation happening there, a little bit in Bangalore. Mumbai city, not so much. I would say there, a lot of the work kind of came to a bit of a stoppage. Delhi, Chandigarh, you name it. Yeah, people are coming in. Absolutely. There's a lot to do here.
Well, so a lot in the States have had the vaccination, and we've had two, Joanne and I, and we
Fantastic.
feel
Yeah.
absolutely liberated and safe.
So
And
you're safe to hang out with.
I think that everybody should have it. So,
Yeah, no, that's true.
so anyway, thank you for being our guest on Global TV. I very much have enjoyed this and have learned
Okay.
from you. And I want you to come back in May or June, whatever is good for you. And let's do a deeper dive on the kinds of companies that are getting active, and
Mhm.
are they experiencing inbound growth, people returning from abroad to work in India and help build up India rather than go out into whether it's Dubai or the US or England
From the
or
US or
wherever. Yeah,
Mexico.
that's a big issue here. And
That's a big topic. Yeah, lots to talk on that. So
yeah,
absolutely happy to do that. And thank you again, Ed. This was a pleasure
thank
as
you.
always. And
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
take care.
All right. Bye-bye now. Thank you. All right. This is Ed in San Diego, California, signing off, and that's Shradha in New Delhi. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.